Hello and welcome to my short webinar on how to start a community college campus ministry after COVID. There are 3 steps. The first step is to discover spiritual interest on campus. The second step is to disciple a few students. And the third step is to build community. So I'd like to say a few words about each of these. First is discovering spiritual interest. And the idea here is that God is already at work in some students' lives on campus. And so our goal is just to find out where God is already at work and to follow up with those students who are interested and disciple them. So there are 3 steps here. First thing is invest in relationships by being on campus for about 2 hours once a week. So just picking that 2-hour time slot once a week. Great tool is Solarium Survey. Here's a picture of my friend Jim on campus at Community College in Lompoc, California. We just throw these pictures. It's called Solarium out on the table. Throw some candy on top and students come by and take the survey. There's 3 questions. And the last question is the spiritual question that gives us an idea of where they're at spiritually. And this next step is to ask spiritual questions. So it's in the context of that relationship that we can ask spiritual questions and find out where the interest is in spiritual things. And the next step is follow up. So those who are interested in spiritual things, we invite them to read the Bible for just a few minutes to show them a one thing study. It's like a 3-minute Bible study tool, very simple, and found it to be so helpful to have an immediate opportunity to invite them to read the Bible. And then after doing that for 3 minutes to invite them, hey, would you want to do this again sometime on campus? And we found that many times students will say, yeah, sure, I'd love to. And then we're beginning to disciple that student. So invest, ask, and follow up. That's the process for discovering spiritual interest. And again, the Solarium tool on campus, such a simple, easy way to engage with students. The next step is to disciple a few. Love plus truth plus time equals transformation. So disciple making is intentionally investing in another for the purpose of their spiritual maturity and multiplication. And we found it be so helpful to have a process to help students to know who Christ is, to grow in their faith, and then to go and disciple others. So eventually, I want to be at the spot where I can say, hey, what I've done for you, you go do for someone else. So this is a picture of my friend Luke that I discipled. He's on campus at Columbia College in Sonora, California, discipling a few students. And the next step is to build community. So the first part of that is inviting a student to you. So you meet a student at the Solarium table and they want to meet again. So now you begin discipling them. So invite them to you, not to an event, and start discipling them. And at the same time, you're continuing to do Solarium once a week on campus, and you meet a few other students who also want to meet up again. And it's likely you'll be meeting with them at separate times, but maybe after a few weeks, they'd be open to meeting together. And so then you're discipling a few students together. And then you're starting to build community. And then the next step is to invite students to invite others. And I found it to be so helpful to have like a weekly meeting, maybe at a home near the campus or something, and maybe a meal. And this is my experience at Hancock College in Santa Maria. Within a couple of months, we had a good group of students coming weekly to, I love apologetics. So I was teaching an apologetics class, and we had a meal first, and students invited students, and pretty soon we had this amazing community formed. And so those are the 3 steps, simple steps: discover spiritual interest, disciple a few, and build community. And just want to let you know too, so again, my name is Steve York, and I'm with a ministry called All Nations, and we are all about equipping believers and churches and other ministries to make disciples on community college campuses. And I have free community college ministry coaching available. You can reach me at steve@allnationsdm.org, and I'd be happy to take you through my 4-part series and going in depth. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch this.